How do you remove an object from Photoshop? Let's go to the screen. So, we first duplicate our layers because we always do that. Let me just set it properly. Okay. So we always do that. Then we take the object selection tool and we select the object. Okay, the object is now selected. What we're going to do is we are going to go to edit and we're going to fill and choose content aware from this menu and hit OK. And he's gone. Now this is where I will show you another of the tools that you can use to remove an object. It's called the clone stamp tool. So what it basically does is you hold Alt and it turns into this smaller circle and you click it. Wherever you click it, it will take a sample. So let's say I click it over here. Now it's sampling this position. Now when I click it, you will see a brush. So it is taking information from this side, from the plus sign, and putting it on the brush. Now as I move up, the sample also moves up, making it a little bit realistic. You know, the clouds are matching up. However, if it is a complex background and there are other things, make sure to sample often because that helps. So if I'm doing this area, I'll probably sample it from here. And if I'm doing this area, I'll probably sample it from here. Remember to always sample from the closest thing available because that makes it look real and not just superimposed. The pattern should look as real as possible. And also be careful, as you can see, if I'm moving this way, this pattern right here that is there, I'll just show you this pattern, this line is being continuously repeated. If I just zoom in, you will see that this line is continuously being repeated because, as I said, with the clone stamp tool, if I sample over here, hold Alt and sample here, and I put it, when I move it this side, the sample point also moves. Now this is done to create an illusion that it's actually not there, instead of having the same pattern and the same thing just stamped over it. So remember to sample multiple areas and do it properly. So right now there's a cloud, so I'm going to sample this area so that I can hit the cloud a little. Yes, like this. So yes. So of course you can take your time and do whatever, but this is just a tutorial. I'm just going to show you how it's done instead of putting a lot of time into it. I'll just keep the tutorial short and sweet. Now another tool that we can do is the patch tool. So what we do is we go here, which is under, I think this is the patch tool. This is, now if you can't see it, it will be here under the spot healing brush tool and the healing brush tool, and we can have the patch tool. So we can take this, make sure source is selected, and we take this and we move, and we can see that her head is now a wall. Control D to deselect, and her head is no longer here. So that is one way of doing it. And another way would be the clone stamp tool, or you can use the spot healing brush tool. Now with the spot healing brush tool, you don't need to sample an area, although you can. So it says the spot healing brush tool automatically samples pixels, so you don't need to do it. I was right. See, this is what happens when you don't use a tool every day of your life, but then you can just paint over it and wait for the computer to make the decisions. So if I just paint over this woman very, very waffly, Monty Python shout out. Let's see what the computer thinks is necessary. Oh, she's now gone, but I don't think this is the best tool because if I zoom in, that doesn't look like brick. So yeah, we can use that, or you can use the healing brush tool, which does need to be sampled, and does this. I don't know why. So yeah, but as you can see, if I move it this way, and this is much like the clone stamp tool, it just repeats whatever is there. So now I've just moved her head over here because of the sampling point is on her body. As you can see, wherever the plus side is, it's duplicating. So let's not do that. And what else do we have? That's it. You can use content aware. Let's try content aware. Let's see how well Photoshop does. Let's select the model, we go edit, and we go fill, and we go content aware. And take. I go Control D. And you can still see the silhouette. So that's that. However, I need to warn you about something. When you have a scene like this and you're trying to clone stamp, and this is where clone stamp will come really handy instead of the content aware and other things, you have to be very careful as to what you are cloning and why you are cloning, because see, this part is a bit reddish, this part is darker and it's getting darker, so you have to carefully choose the points that you want to duplicate or replicate. And in these areas it will be even more difficult, because as you can see it's painting that, so you have to undo the selection, you have to click this, reduce the brush size, and just paint over this person's head, and it's paint over this person's head. Okay, so it's going away. Now you have to reselect and do this. So yeah, it will be very difficult to replicate. In this situation, this becomes very difficult. So it's better off if you already have a image without your subject in it, and you can just brush this person off from the image. Just remove this person and you already have the second image. We'll show that in the next video. Or stay away from it, and if you indeed have to do it, maybe it's a job that you have taken up, be very precise, take your time, and try to be as accurate as you can. Thank you.